going on, Jerome's? The Minnesota Vikings offensive line, especially the interior offensive line, has been a talking point all season. And even though they're starting to shape up a weensy bit, the run game is going to go, and Kirk Cousins still getting pummeled back there, even though all the rankings sites have the Vikings offensive line like top 10, which is kind of crazy. But the main question is, when is recent free agent signee Dalton Risner, who's been on the team for 3 weeks, going to supplant second-year right guard Ed Ingram, who is perceived as the weak link up front for the Vikings. And head coach Kevin O'Connell addressed the situation again as the Vikings began practice for Kansas City. And also, with Chris Jones being one of the best defensive interiors in the game, the interior offensive line is going to be kind of important on Sunday. And this is what he said, quote, that group there with Dalton and Blake have all been getting reps. I thought Austin Schultman played one of the best games he's had. We'll continue to get those guys reps, and we're going to play the best 5. So when asked about the state of the offensive line, when Dalton Risner is going to get in, that's what Kevin O'Connell said to the local media jackals. And in terms of the Vikings offensive line depth, it's kind of sneaky that O'Connell just slid in there that Blake Brandel's been getting first-team reps as well, because set in stone are Darisaw and Brian O'Neill. If Garrett Bradbury returns, we'll get to him in a sec, he's obviously a starting center. Now, Schultman has been fine at times. I think that he did have his best game against the Panthers, which is impressive considering they have Derek Brown. Ezra Cleveland has really stepped up nicely in year 4, a contract season. So the spot up for grabs is Ed Ingram. So that's very interesting that Dalton Risner, come on up for the Risner, as well as Brandel had been rotating in with the first team. Now, still TBD what those positions were. Is Brandel working both sides? Is Ezra Cleveland coming off the field? Are all 3 of them, are Ingram, Brandel, and Risner rotating opposite of Ezra Cleveland? Or is that some sort of Yankee swap situation? Don't know. But it has been reported that Risner has been working both sides, left and right guard. Does give the Vikings maximum flexibility. Also, Chris Reed, who is a solid veteran backup guard center, not so much as we saw in actually, that's unfair, snapping from shotgun against the Packers week 17 last year, not so much, but also played center well against the Bears week 18. Now, I don't know what's going to happen right now, because Ed Ingram, respect, is starting to get better, but his mistakes seem to come in the worst possible spots. But would it be enough to hold off Risner? Who really knows at this stage? Now, the Vikings are committed to getting the best 5 out there. Maybe at a certain point, Ed Ingram improves where he is one of the best 5. I think that saying that it's been the best 5 has been lip service the past couple weeks, because I do think that Dalton Risner, even with limited practice, given his experience with Chris Cooper and a very similar scheme, I think could have been able to hit the ground running. But as time goes on and the running game continues to get sutured up, and if Kirk Cousins continues to keep getting time, maybe we're at that spot. O'Connell addressed the offensive line further, starting off with Kramer's original tweet. Risner and Brandel will continue to rotate with first-team offense at guard this week, KOC said. When you add a guy like Dalton in season, you want to give him the opportunity. In-season competitions aren't easy to come by. So basically that's code for, we'll see. And then O'Connell said, when an offensive line change happens, it is to be determined. I have been encouraged by both Dalton and Blake and what that might maybe look like. Hopefully we get Garrett back in the middle, and that can help a lot of things. And Garrett Bradbury did talk about his health. Original tweet. Garrett Bradbury out since September 10th, said lower back injury has been frustrating. It's been really just annoying, to be honest, he told me. Feeling better, working with as many people as I can to feel better, and I am feeling better. It's coming around quicker than last year. Bradbury told me back injury that structurally things look a lot better than last year, which cost him 5 games. Kind of acting similar, but looking better imaging-wise. Plans to practice today. Goal is to be ready for the rest of the season, not just for 1 week. And Bradbury exited very early in week 1 against Tampa Bay, has missed ever since, and it would be a boost to get Bradbury back. Where like Kevin O'Connell said, Schultman did fill in well, especially in the Panthers game, but Bradbury's better. And I think even though, yes, we Vikings fans remember the first 3 years of Bradbury's career. Last year he was solid. This year, TBD, hasn't played enough yet, but he would be an upgrade over Schultman just in terms of experience as well as in terms of leadership. And I do think that Bradbury probably will be back Sunday against the Chiefs. A chance to shock the world, and we'll see. Like, maybe, like, I would love a world where the offensive line is based on merit, and Dalton Risner doesn't play a single offensive snap this season, where Ezra really steps up his game, Ed Ingram really steps up his game, and the Vikings, knocking on all the wood, have some good puck luck when it comes to health, and they're good to go. And paying $4 million for a backup seems like a lot, but it's a lot like Cam Akers and Alexander Madison. If bringing in someone who is a threat to your job gets you to get your head out of your ass and really get going, I mean, it's worth it. It is. So we'll see. I mean, the Vikings were super thin along the offensive line the first couple weeks due to injury, but now, with Bradbury potentially coming back, Brandel working with the first team, potentially Chris Reed coming off of NFI, I mean, the Vikings are relatively good to go up front. But, again, knocking on all the wood. We'll see. We'll see, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Head coach Kevin OConnell addresses what's going on with the offensive line. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.